Have you ever heard of a king who went to God himself to bring back food for his people? It sounds like a legend, but it's the founding story of the Oron Nation, a vibrant and resilient society with a history stretching back to the 1200s. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating culture, governance, and traditions of the Oron people, also known as Akwa Ibom or Aw. Our story begins around the year 1200 at the mouth of the Cross River Basin in modern-day Nigeria. Here, 6 distinct but related tribal groups came together, forming a sovereign and egalitarian society. They share deep ancestral ties with the Efik, Yoruan, Ibeno, and Andoni peoples, creating a rich cultural tapestry across the region. In these early days, the Oron Nation was a collection of communities ruled by tribal chiefs. But that all changed with a legendary hunter named Ata Oyuera. One day, Ata went on a safari and simply vanished. The community searched for him, but he was nowhere to be found. Fearing the worst, they declared him dead. But 2 months later, Ata reappeared carrying a new type of food, a species of sweet yam, known in the Ora language as Nainini. When the astonished people asked where he had been, he famously declared, because of hunger in the land, "I went to God to collect this yam for mankind." This incredible feat earned him the respect and admiration of all the clans. In the late 1200s, Ata Oyuera was elevated to become the first ever king of the Oron Nation. A royal stool was crafted for him, and this very stool remains the oldest surviving artifact of the Ora people and the entire Lower Cross River Basin. Ata's leadership and his new yam united the 6 core ethnic groups. These included the Oron Akpabing, the Okobo, the Idua, the Inwang, the Ebihuotong, and the Efayat, MBO people. He shared the yams with the different clans who visited him daily, and his influence spread far and wide, even reaching into parts of modern-day Cameroon. To this day, the people of these groups still see themselves as part of the wider Oron Nation. For centuries, the Oron Nation thrived. It operated as an independent community with a unique rotatory system of kingship, where leadership passed between the different tribal leaders, ensuring fairness and shared power. Their strategic location on the coast also meant they were key players in trade. By the late 1800s, Portuguese traders had mapped the area, calling the Oron region Tom Shots Town and the nearby port Tom Shots Port. However, this period also brought conflict. Portuguese raiders pushed many Oron clans further inland. This forced migration led to a pivotal moment at a place they called Obio Uffer, meaning an unforgettable spot. There, a solemn pact was made. The Oron clans would always rise together in alliance to defend their own if attacked by outsiders. This promise of mutual defense strengthened their unity and led to the establishment of many new villages within the Ora territory. This era of independence and self-governance continued until the late 1800s and early 1900s, when the British Empire began its expansion. Between 1909 and 1914, the British invaded the region and forcibly absorbed the Oron Nation into the southern Nigeria Protectorate. But the spirit of the Ora people could not be extinguished. By 1925, they initiated a political revival, re-establishing the Oron Union and the Attaship, the institution of their king, to preserve their identity and advocate for their people. So, how was this complex society governed before colonial rule? The answer lies in a fascinating network of secret societies. While the most ancient form of rule was through a system called Isong, the Ep Society eventually became the most powerful force in Oron life. It's interesting to note that despite their proximity to the Ibibio people, the Oron didn't adopt the Ibibio Ekpo Society until after colonialism began. The origins of Ekp within Oron are debated. Some groups say they brought it with them from Cameroon, while others claim to have been the first to encounter it. One story tells of a fisherman named Tanaya who discovered men from the Efut tribe playing Ekp. He negotiated with them to acquire the society for his people. What is clear is that Ek became the legislative, executive, and police force of the Oron Nation. Every high chief and title holder had to be a member. The Ek society had a strict hierarchy with 7 grades: Nyamk, Nkanda, Yusongo, Ekpiong, Esa, Ibang, and Ayumba. The supreme head was the Ofong Ekpi, or chief of Ek, whose authority was absolute. But Ek wasn't the only important group. There was the Iking, an elite male society. Its members were distinguished by the Ayara, a red woolen cap that signified great honor. The Iking society originally celebrated the fighting prowess of its members in their old age and played a key role in enforcing community laws by imposing fines on rule breakers. Then there was Awan Idit, also known as Ekpriakata. This was a moral police force. Its members were seen as spirits who knew all the secrets of the community. Their main job was to expose antisocial behavior. They were famous for creating clever, satirical songs that would publicly shame anyone guilty of things like theft, witchcraft, or having a child out of wedlock. Akata was the village's social media, broadcasting secrets to ridicule offenders and pressure them into changing their ways. Women also held significant power through their own societies. The most important was a Benai song, also known as a Bang. Led by a chief called the Ofong Abang, this organization had unquestionable authority over women's affairs. Its primary goal was to protect womanhood, both in the home and in public. They organized dances where women of all ages could come together, display their skills, and strengthen community bonds. In a show of respect, the men's societies would even make dry gin, called UFO, to appease the women and honor their role. Education and community development were also highly structured, primarily through an age grade system called Nka. In Oron, every person, male and female, was expected to join Nka with their peers. This was their school and their social club rolled into one. Older children taught younger ones through folklore, oral history, and even an ancient script called Nsibidi. Nka was responsible for socializing its members, teaching them the community's norms, laws, and traditions. They also served as the workforce for public projects. Different Nka groups had specific duties. The Nga Akbare song was responsible for cleaning the markets and streets. The Nga Affair looked after the shrines. The Nga Ndito managed the village's general administration. The Ngaso acted as the village guards, while the Nkamikparawa were the warriors ready to defend the community. This system created a deep sense of belonging and shared responsibility. Members often referred to each other as NDA or Adami, terms of brotherhood and sisterhood. If a member broke the rules, their own age grade would be the one to punish them, creating powerful social pressure to conform. From a legendary king who brought yams from God to a complex web of societies that maintained law, order, and social cohesion, the Oron Nation built a remarkable and resilient civilization. Their history is a powerful testament to the ingenuity, unity, and enduring spirit of a people who, despite invasion and colonial disruption, have kept their unique cultural identity alive. Thanks so much for joining us on this journey into the history of the Oron people. If you found this as fascinating as I did, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the world's incredible cultures. See you next time!